What up, YouTube? Noah here, as you all know me as Bounty Hunter Noah, ready to show you any mangas I have in today, just to see if you guys will, I don't know, like, and maybe think about getting. Anyway, I got one book right here. Um, Not to review, well, yeah, to review ish, and then talk about something later. First off, I'm gonna tell you guys that I am really thinking about getting one manga right now that is called Goodnight Pun Pun, or Pun Pun, or people kind of say it Goodnight Pun Pun or Goodnight Pun Pun. It's by this guy named. It's on the tip of my tongue for some reason. I can't. People want. I hate this. I hate when this happens. Like, I have it on my tip of my tongue, and I'm like, dang, I can't even say his name. Okay, you guys might know what book he might have made. Like Girl on the Shore. A lot of people heard that one. Girl on the Shore. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. That was not my favorite manga, and it was very weird. Didn't understand it. And it's that the artist who made that book made Goodnight Pun Pun. When I first heard of Goodnight Pun Pun, I thought it's gonna be like that book, like as Girl on the Shore, like kind of weird. But then I did some research on it. I was like, people say it's really, really good and interesting and very, excuse me, lifelike, and it has a little dark, and I believe they have a little kind of romance in there. A little, just a little. And I'm like, the book seems worthy to test to see if it makes it on the top shelf. I don't know. It might be. I don't know. But it just looks good, just to me. And I really am gonna get some couple things. I'm kind of thinking about getting like a video game too. God of War game. I'm gonna pre-order that guy. Anyway, I'm thinking about getting Goodnight Pun Pun, and then and on May I'm probably gonna get 2 more volumes of, or 3 volumes of Shaman Warrior. Anyway, let's talk about this thing. I haven't did a review on this guy. I talked about people with this book, but I haven't actually tell people about this one. Um, this is I Am a Hero by Kengo Hazawa. Kengo Hanzoraza. I think that's his name. It's basically called. People say this is the world's the greatest zombie manga ever. It literally says it right there. The greatest zombie manga ever. Literally, it does say that. Right, you guys know it's a comic graphic novel, manga, and horror. It's a zombie book about this. It's a zombie book, and it's supposed to be about. I think the artist is actually in here, and he's just. It's just one thing about this book. It's just pretty interesting. And then it says it does say volume 2 and 1. One thing it does say that, like, the volume 2 and 1. And I'm like, oh yeah, like it's a omnibus. It's just gonna be pretty interesting. And it looks good. When I first got it, I'm like, I just thought of it just being like, I'm gonna maybe pass this book. Just past it for some reason. I don't know. It's just a weird book, but I will give it another try, see if it's good enough. When I first got this book, I was like, I was at a fair at my hometown. I just saw this guy selling comic books for a pretty good deal. Me and my friend were like, comic books. My friend Josh and I, we were just like, dude, do you see what I see? He says, yep. Do you know what we think we should do? Yep. Let's go over there and see what kind of comic books they got. I saw a Spawn one. I'm like, ooh, I like Spawn. Always did like Spawn. It was my pretty favorite comic book when I kind of grew up. And then I saw a Hatsumiko one. I was like, ooh, I like that. And then some guy's like, I was like, jerk. In my head, I was like, jerk. He just went, says, how much is this? He says 20% off. I'm like, And me and my friend, we were looking at the books. And he says, "Hey man, what's up?" The owner of the stand, he says, "Hey man, what's up?" I was like, "Hey man, I said, you got a pretty nice set out here." I'm like, "You got a lot of books," and I'm like, I don't. He says, "Yep, man. Have you ever kind of heard about a Batman series that is kind of a Batman evil?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, I heard about that guy." And I says, I remember seeing him as the Mind Guy, and he says, "Yeah, have you seen the one that he's took the power of the Flash?" I'm like, "No." I says, "Is that one pretty good?" He says, "Yeah, it's pretty cool." I'm like, I should read that. That's what I thought in my head. And until I says, "Ooh, how much is this?" He says, "How much is that book?" It's like $19. He says, $5. I'm like, $5. I said, "You sure? I can give you 11." He said, "No, 5." I'm like, okay, $5. And I paid him a little tip. It says, "Man, I love this thing." And I didn't get the Hatsumiko book. That was the only one they had. I wish they had more. My friend got a Flash book, and I don't know what else. And then and I did saw a Watchmen comic. I'm like, ooh, man, that is. I was just looking for these guys, and I'm like, I says I don't have any money. Anywho, yep. Eh, it's just pretty good book. Anywho, no,